respectively by 0.9% and 3.6%. Survey indicators for economic activity have steadily improved over recent months, coinciding with reduced concern about energy shortages and price increases.
We got
these
Lagarde
factors, coupled with the ongoing support provided by fiscal policy and the continued resilience of the labour market, are expected to support a recovery over the coming quarters. Accordingly, projected growth for 2023 has been revised up to 1% in our latest staff projections, which also foresee growth of 1.6% both in 2024 and 2025, which is a slight downgrade from where we had our projection last time around. It has to be stressed, though, that the ECB staff projections were finalised before the recent emergence of financial market tensions. As such, these tensions imply additional uncertainty around the baseline assessments of inflation and growth. Turning now to inflation, it has decreased from its peak in October, owing to a sharp drop in energy prices, and stood at 8.5% in February. Input cost pressures, which are partly related to the past surge in energy costs and the impact of supply bottlenecks and reopening effects, are all weakening. However, accumulated price pressures are still spreading through the economy with a delay. As a result, inflation, excluding energy and food, has continued to increase, reaching 5.6% in February. Wage pressures have strengthened on the back of robust labour market and employees aiming to recoup some of the purchasing power that they have lost to high inflation. Moreover, many firms have been able to raise their profit margins in sectors faced with constrained supply and resurgent demand. The energy price shock implies a hit to the domestic economy, which should be absorbed by both firms and workers in order to ensure that it does not lead to a spiral of upward price and wages adjustments. In the baseline of our latest staff projections, headline inflation has been revised downward, mainly reflecting a smaller contribution from energy prices than previously expected. We now see inflation averaging 5.3% in 2023, 2.9% in 2024, and 2.1% in 2025. At the same time, underlying price pressures remain strong. Inflation, excluding energy and food, is expected to average 4.6% in 2023, which is higher than foreseen in the December projections. Subsequently, it is projected to come down to 2.5% in 2024 and 2.2% in 2025. As the upward pressures from past supply shocks and the reopening of the economy fade out, and as tighter monetary policy increasingly dampens demand. As inflation is projected to remain too high for too long, the Governing Council last week decided to increase the three key ECB interest rates by 50 basis points, in line with our determination to ensure the timely return of inflation to our 2% medium-term target. The elevated level of uncertainty reinforces the importance of a data-dependent approach to our policy rate decisions, which will be determined by our assessment of the inflation outlook in light of the incoming economic and financial data, 2, in light of the dynamics of underlying inflation, and 3, in light of the strength of our monetary policy transmission. The key ECB interest rates remain our primary tool for setting the monetary policy stance. The reduction of the asset purchase program portfolio, the second topic of today's hearing, is part of our monetary policy normalization. As of the beginning of the month of March, the APP portfolio has been declining at a measured and predictable pace of 15 billion per month on average, and will continue to do so until the end of June. The subsequent pace, after June 23, will be determined over time, and the Governing Council will regularly reassess the pace to ensure that it remains consistent with the overall monetary policy strategy and stance to preserve market functioning and to maintain firm control over short-term money market conditions. So let me conclude. With war in Europe and high inflation requiring immediate action, policymakers may be inclined to divert their attention from long-term challenges. But we must all strive to keep up our efforts to address the existential crisis of climate change. For us at the ECB, this means continuing to make progress on our climate roadmap. This week, on the 23rd to be precise, we will publish the first climate-related financial disclosures of the Eurosystem's corporate sector assets held for monetary policy purposes, and of the ECB's own funds and the staff pension fund. We will be joined in the coming weeks by all Eurosystem central banks, which will also disclose climate information on their own euro-denominated non-monetary policy portfolios. Besides helping us be more transparent about our climate impact, these disclosures help track our progress towards supporting within our mandate a decarbonisation path in line with the goals of the Paris Agreement and EU climate neutrality objectives. They will show, for example, that our corporate sector portfolio is becoming less carbon intensive, partly thanks to our efforts to tilt purchases towards issuers with a better climate performance. Over time, as more and better quality data become available, we will improve the level of details and expand reporting to include other portfolios and asset classes. Better and harmonised climate disclosures for all asset classes would help not only the ECB, but also the entire financial sector to better account for climate-related risks. With that, I thank you for your attention, and I now look forward to your questions. Thank you.
Good morning.
Thank you very much, President Lagarde. Now we start our Q&A session, and we start with Ludek Niedermayer.
This is the Euro Chirpow speaking live and now taking questions, talking about monetary policy. Obviously, Credit Suisse in the picture. Global effort to provide liquidity for the dollar today, and this week is a big week.
With the relative
We'll get into the analysis shortly.
economy, we are still in the middle of inflation troubles. And as you rightly said, the risk is that inflation expectation can stick to too high level. I very much appreciate that your interest rate policy seems to be on the track, but I wonder what is the role of other policies that are within the public domain. So first of all, how you see the role of balance sheet reduction that you just highlight for the disinflation, and if there will be some discussion about quantitative policy role in monetary policy in the future. And also I would like to hear how you see the role of fiscal policy in current development. I won't also ask the question on banking, but let me stop now and I will use it in the second part.
Thank you very much, Mr. Niedermayer, for these questions. On the, I would like to just stress the fact that what we regard as the key policy tool in our determination to return inflation to 2% in the medium term is the interest rates. So what we are doing in terms of normalization of monetary policy at the moment is not the key instrument that we are using. So what we have decided at our February meeting is to define the modalities of reducing our asset purchase program holdings. And during the period of partial reinvestment, the Eurosystem will retain the existing smooth reinvestment approach. The monthly redemptions under the APP between March and the end of June 2023 will exceed the decided average runoff pace of 15 billion euros per month. Partial reinvestment in excess of 15 billion per month will ensure that the Eurosystem maintains a continuous market presence under the APP over this period. We will decide on the basis of our observations of the markets and our partial reinvestment policy at the end of June, and probably before that, in order to be in a position to revisit our decision in terms of volume and pace, what we do next. And we will determine whether we move from 15 billion per month to more or to less. But all of that is going to be data dependent. And as we have indicated in our most recent monetary policy decision, forward guidance is no longer one of the tools that we are using. However, for this partial reinvestment policy, we have indicated some forward guidance because it takes us until the end of June. But post-June, we will have to determine what happens going forward. On the, you asked me about fiscal policy. We could spend a lot of time actually on the theme of fiscal policy. I think what we have and what I have said repeatedly at the Eurogroup and what the Governing Council has indicated very clearly in the last two monetary policy statements is that it was now time for fiscal authorities to roll back the support that had been decided in order to support the population at large in most instances against the impact of the energy crisis. We have observed, despite the recommendations of having those fiscal support programs be temporary, targeted and tailored, that it was not necessarily the case, and that only probably about anywhere between 10 and 25% of those programs were actually labeled T, temporary, targeted and tailored. So our recommendations and our hope is that fiscal authorities will appreciate the necessity to proceed to a recalibration of the fiscal supports that had been decided, and that those programs will be focused on those who need it most and will be tailored in order to make sure that there is an incentive to reduce the consumption of energy. So that has been our position. And we are certainly, we have been flagging for the last two monetary policy Governing Council decisions that now it really was time to do so, because absent some such recalibration, the two policies, monetary on the one hand and fiscal policy, would be working at cross purposes and would risk pushing us into tightening more our monetary policy going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. I have nothing to add to this question, so let me go to the banking and maybe just.
We don't have to watch the whole thing. I was just really hoping we would hear something about U.S. liquidity. It's a big news article today, or big headliner. Basically, there's a global effort amongst banks to secure liquidity for the USD. A really last-ditch effort trying to prevent bank runs, etc. And I'm hoping we get something here.
Extremely low return and interest rate, as well with sharp, well-justified increase of interest rate now. So I wonder if we are now in very early stage, so we don't know what will happen then. But I wonder how strong for you is the relevance of this event to monetary policy, and if you would expect that in order to allow you to better operate the monetary policy, there should be some reflection of the risks that materialized, unfortunately, in case of some of the banks, by the regulators and supervisors. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your second question, Mr. Niedermayer. We could also spend a lot of time on that one, like the one on fiscal. But let me also repeat a point that I have made during the press conference after the monetary policy decision that we made last week. In my mind, and in the mind of the Governing Council, there is no trade-off between monetary policy on the one hand, between price stability on the one hand and financial stability on the other hand. Okay, and for each of these two stabilities, we are using different tools. Price stability is the primary objective of the European Central Bank, but we all know that price stability goes with financial stability, and they are both important and come together. But there is no trade-off between the two. We will use the tools that we have in order to address price stability, and that's what we are doing. We are using the interest rates that we have, and this was the case last week, this was the case before, because we have enough ground to cover to move at the pace where we are moving. And as far as financial stability is concerned, we have all the tools that will be needed, that are needed eventually, in order to address financial stability tensions. So we have the standard operation. We have other tools that can be used. We have demonstrated that in the past, and those tools will be used if necessary. But I don't see a trade-off between the two. Now, of course, you know, financial stability, to the extent that it impacts the economic situation, to the extent that it impacts our projections, have an impact on how we see the situation from a macroeconomic point of view. But there are two different stabilities addressed by different tools. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I give the floor to Jonas Fernandez for S&D.
Buenas tardes, Presidenta. Bienvenido.
Okay, guys. We don't know how long they're going to keep asking questions, but I do want to welcome everyone back. Happy Monday. We have a big, big week. Very much spice. Maybe the spiciest ever. If I'm basically curious, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to continue listening to this? They probably will wrap up in the next 10 minutes or so. Or do we want to go into the charts? Let me know in the chat. Also, if you're here today, make some noise. Let us know you're here as well. Just put something in the chat. It could be hello. Could be I don't want to listen to these people. It could be I want to listen to these people. I don't care. Could be hello, Tom. That's fine. I see a lot of names, a lot of names, a lot of new names, a lot of old names. Are you ready? Joined us again. Alchemist as well. Continue charts, continue charts. Continue charts. You're here, bro. Let's do it. Charts. I think charts are going to win. I think charts are winning. Continue. Charts. News. Charts. What's up, everybody? What's up, Mike? Frosted Flake Unicorn. JNC Party. Angie Z. Charts. Charts. Continue charts. She's saying nothing. I agree. There's not much going on. She finished speaking, and now it's the questions. And we know from watching Chirpow that the questions we never get any more info. It's just reiteration. All right. I think charts are going to win. I love just playing videos, but I think charts are going to win. This is the Euro POW, by the way. On Wednesday, today is Monday. On Wednesday, we have the US, the real Chirpow. And rumors have it maybe even Tom Pow, his much more legendary, much more handsome, smarter, probably more Riz counterpart may make an appearance. We'll see. We'll see. There's no EU Gina, and that is why I'm okay with ending it. We didn't find an EU Gina. In fact, look, it's empty there. Not only is there no Euro Gina, it's just empty. There's nobody in the front row at all. That's a bummer. It's a bummer. All above. Euro Pow. Squidward. I like that. All right. It was a good startup. It was a good warm-up. I wish we could do that every day because, honestly, the second I go live, I need a minute to grasp what's happening in existence. So let's get into the charts. Didn't get too much from that, though. If you took something away from that, chat, please let me know. I honestly, I'll be real with you, I had a little difficulty understanding a lot of what they were saying. Some of their accents were a little thick, and I'm just waking up. So we're about to jump into the charts. We're about to comb the news to find maybe another bank collapse. We'll find out. A lot of stuff happening over the weekend. Lots of price action yesterday. Bitcoin trading to new 2023 highs. And I believe it was Friday that Balaji's $1 million Bitcoin bet was made. We did stream since then, but we'll go over that again, what that might look like, what I think about it. My 2-cent takeaway for you right now is I think it's cool. I'm not sure what his angle is, but something that makes me a little salty is I'm no longer the most bullish person in existence on Bitcoin. It seems he is, and a little jealousy, a little anger there, but I'll get over it. There's a Juanita. All right, Alex Wells. Still lunch in Europe. The Fed's between a rock and a hard place. I think I said that word for word the other day. Unable to simultaneously tackle inflation and keep the economy intact and banks from collapsing. You know, there actually is some really cool stuff. Whether we think Balagis, whatever his name is, whether we think he's full of it or not, he is spitting some straight fire on Twitter, and we should take a look at some of that. It's not just, I think it's going to 1 billion. It's not gibberish. It's here's all this data. And we love data here, and whether or not that actually results in what he's looking for doesn't really matter. The data is there. We should definitely take a peek at it. If we take a look at ADA, we can take a look at, we haven't done the alts in a bit, mostly because Bitcoin has really been stealing the show. But we'll go through in this stream. We'll look at the top 10 at least. I don't think he started the bet. He took it from another guy quicker. That is true. Another guy did say, I'd bet $1 million, something like that. He swooped up the bet, I want to say. Like, close enough. We're about to jump into it, but what I need from you guys, Balaji used to be the CTO of Coinbase. I do know that. Apparently, someone sent me his net worth, $1 point something billion. So I was correct. The dude is loaded. And of course, this $2 million bet is like irrelevant to him. There's been some speculation. You know what? Let's just start there. There's been some speculation that maybe he's just caught. One sec. Maybe he's caught in the sense of, I don't know, futures, options, expiration, etc. And that the guy may hold over 1,000 Bitcoin. So there's some speculation that he is basically trying to pump his bags, and people were doing math on it. They were saying something along the lines, this is not the chart, we'll have to get another one. Something along the lines of, if he has 1,000 Bitcoin, he only needs to move the price 2% to recoup, the $2 million bet or whatever. And there's, that is something we should definitely keep an eye on. That's something that we should be considering. But I really think that there's easier ways to pump the market. I don't know. I'm not sold on he's trying to get a return out of this 2 million. The bet itself is pretty much, the bet itself is pretty much like he's going to lose money either way. Like, he's essentially buying a Bitcoin right now for $1 million. Twice. I don't know. I'm really interested in what everyone thinks, because at the moment, I don't think his motives are really out. I think what he is doing is, he might have a huge bag of Bitcoin, and so he wants to pump those bags. Don't we all? I just don't think that something like this will work in my observation, in my experience in this space of 6-7 years. I don't think that, even though he got a lot of views, a lot of attention, it's just not something that pumps, something as big as Bitcoin. That's my take. 2-cent take for the moment. We'll go over it more. I'm going to turn on some tunes here. It's a little quiet. What's up, Matthew D, my man? Good to see you. His price target is arbitrary. Agreed. There's nothing special about $1 million. There's nothing special about $500,000. They're just psychological. They're just numbers we can visualize easily in our brains. And that's really about it. There's no connection from his prediction to the $1 million target, in the sense of he's not saying there's X amount of money that's going to flow into Bitcoin, and if that happens, then it reaches this number. It's definitely hyperbole. Hyperbole? Definitely hyperbole. It's exaggeration. I said this on the last stream, and I'll say it again. I do believe it's more of a directional thing that he's trying to bring attention to. We are seeing these bank weaknesses, and there's been a lot of opposition on Twitter against that, saying, look at the past. Look at previous bank run scenarios. We didn't see hyperinflation. I'll have to look at his tweets and his responses to have to look at those to give you his counterpoints. But I think it's something along the lines of, we're in a world now, lots of time has passed since we've seen this. We're in a world where transactions are much faster and these events can unravel essentially at the speed of light comparatively to the last crisis of such a banking caliber, right? In addition, we also did not have Bitcoin and cryptocurrency last time we were in this position. And I think basically one of his points is we now have an alternative. We now have somewhere for money to flee. I think, what was it, the 1920s was maybe the last similar event to kind of bank runs. And basically people fled to gold, and then the government made it illegal essentially to have gold. They had some kind of seizure, and they went and seized the gold from people. And in this scenario, if that were to happen to Bitcoin, I get his line of thought. Bitcoin is nearly impossible to seize, especially versus gold, when you compare them. And so if there's an exodus of capital from the dollar, instead of going to gold, it could go to Bitcoin. I think there's validity there. I just don't... You guys know I'm the most bullish person in the world. We've been streaming through 2 bear markets, and I have never, ever lost my bullish charm. But $1 million by June 14th. I don't know, man. It's a little much. I would welcome it. I've never wanted to be more wrong. Never wanted to be more wrong in my life. Teresa Young, not when we have tons of Bitcoin on exchanges. Well, if you've been paying attention to him, part of his message is also very specifically, it is included, buy spot Bitcoin. This is quoting him, buy spot Bitcoin, take it off exchange. So I think he also recognizes that, because Teresa has a point. I'm not sure if they're making it, but it's there, is Bitcoin is very easily seized on exchange. Maybe, no, definitely even easier to seize Bitcoin on exchange than gold in your pocket. But Bitcoin in your wallet is virtually immune to seizure. Virtually. We do have some new subscribers. Mohan Sakar, welcome. The 5 Wolves. John Andritas. Crypto Forum 99. Abhishek Pakaria. That's 5 in a row for the new live stream. If you're out there and you haven't subscribed yet, join our fam. We're live here every day, pretty much, bringing you the cutting edge of the cryptocurrency monetary world. We're always looking at charts, trying to find some kind of trading edge, and we've been doing this for 4 years, so we hope you join our fam. Jump on the subscribe train. Let's get the likes up and the engagement up. The more we engage with this stream, meaning the more you like, subscribe, vote in the polls, chat, share the stream out on socials, the more YouTube says people are enjoying this, I'm going to show it to new people, and that's how we continue growing, and it's all thanks to you guys. It is not placebo. Last thing, shout out to our sponsor, Fairdesk. Sign up using my link. They're a great exchange, no KYC. You can use them anywhere without giving up all your private data. Sign up using my link. They do have some pretty fancy deposit bonuses and goodies. We'll be giving away, I have to open it in a new window. We'll be giving away some trading credit and such there shortly. Private window. Go to site. Oh my goodness. Giving away shortly. We'll be starting that up. There you go. They even made me a slick little welcome page. So click the link just even to see the welcome page. We're about to jump into the corn. What do I think the US dollar is doing? We have a lot to look at today. I actually have to pull up another chart, one we haven't looked at in quite some time, and that'd be crude. So on the docket, we have Bitcoin, we have the dollar, we have crude oil. We're also definitely going to be taking a peek at gold as it broke 2,000. I think last night or this morning. That's a spicy meatball. That's a spicy. Very spicy. So let's get into it. The viewership is climbing. We're getting up to that 1,000 viewer mark. Great job, everybody. That engagement is paying off. I do appreciate it. I do want to know what you guys are thinking, what you're looking at today, and that will help me guide this stream. Thanks for the content. Thanks for being here. Cesar Pina, Vesemir, how you doing, brother? How you doing? But I always like to start as well with just opening up investing.com. No, they don't pay me. It's just a site I use. Has a lot of crypto and economic articles and such. I just like to look at the headlines, see what's going on. Stocks look like they're up slightly after closing pretty miserably on Friday. The dollar is down. Gold and silver are up. Silver trading to $22.50. Gold over 2,000 last night. Oh my goodness, soybeans. The thing that BitBoy love. I don't know. It's an inside joke. Soybeans. Interesting that soybeans are on here. It goes oil, gas, gold, silver, copper, soybeans. So I think that's suggesting soybeans are the fourth precious metal. That's speculation. Nothing really grabbing me here. We did see ECB President Lagarde speak. So we were listening to that. Reserve balances with the Federal Reserve banks. I don't really know how to read this. Looks pretty flat. Absolutely want to look at the economic calendar for what's ahead this week. And it seems tomorrow we have existing home sales. That's a pretty important economic indicator, which can suggest a strong or weak economy depending on how those numbers come in. On Wednesday, we have our biggest day. The stream is scheduled. Chirpow, March 22nd. We will be live. Probably 1:30 p.m. East for the pre-show. We'll get the interest rate decision and then Chirpow at 2:30. So tune in, set your reminders, don't miss that. And core durable goods orders on Friday, another economic measure. So my take here is we do have initial jobless claims as well on Thursday. This week, not quite as packed. If it didn't have the FOMC meeting on Wednesday, it would be not nearly as packed as last week. But we do, and that's going to be the highlight here. Traders, market participants, absolutely looking to the Fed this month. Will they or won't they increase interest rates? My bet is no. I do not see that happening. Unless we want more banks, especially smaller banks, to go under, we don't want to see that. If we do get an interest rate hike, it will be kind of suggestive to me that maybe the Fed is looking to crack down on small, medium-sized banks, consolidating them into large banks, which could be the precursor for CBDC. I think that's not really that tinfoil hat. I think that's pretty logical. There's no other reason you would do that. Inflation cannot take priority over bank collapse. That's silly. That's absolutely silly. Looking at our Fed rate monitor tool, things are finally a little stable here. A little bit stable, with 25 BPS looking to kind of take the lead here. I'm not even going to go over the chaos that was these interest rates over the last month. 0 BPS still in 1/4, down from about 1/3 probability. I still think that's it. Maybe call me crazy. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't know. What do you guys think? Let's take a peek here at CoinGecko.com. For some reason, I have to verify I'm a human. I've never had to do that before. That's weird. Crypto market cap trading at 1.2 trillion, up 1% on the day. That number keeps climbing, and that's the number to pay attention to. We've been looking at that for weeks and weeks and weeks. Looks like Bitcoin is really the big winner in the top 10 over the last 24 hours. Looks like the only green. Unusual. This would suggest that Bitcoin dominance is rising, and I would bet my bottom dollar that it is. We do have some smaller coins with some large gains over the last 24 hours. Stacks really putting in the work here. Stacks hit $1 resistance, sold off to, 80, 70 cents. Now trading higher at $1.22. Stacks is really making moves, perhaps off of the Bitcoin ordinals hype. Look at our biggest losers. Not huge downside here, about 4% for Polygon, Lido, ApeCoin, Terra Luna Classic, the graph, near, curve. Not a lot of threat there. I don't know what Conflux is, but we might have to start looking at it as it is the biggest gainer in the top 100 over the last 7 days at 140%. Mask Network making moves as well, and Stacks holding a clear, strong third. Cool. Cool. Let's get to the charts. XRP is up 3%. That's weird. Why did it say that it wasn't? You saw it. Yeah, I'll pull it back up on the side here. I didn't make a mistake, did I? No, XRP is down 3% today. For the week, it's up 2.8%. I see what you're saying. All right, I got the chat pulled up. Up and run XRP will make us rich. I hope so, brother. I hope we all get rich. Let's all get rich. So let's start out with some charts out, man. 28.8. We looked at this number last stream. Coming just shy on Coinbase. We'll, as we zoom in, we'll see how close. We could not have asked for a more bullish monthly candle at this point. That kicker on the month painted out, 2 weeks ago, taking us to higher highs for this year. And what is pretty spicy, high above our monthly resistance, now potentially support on a sell-off at 23.3. And what's pretty spicy, 28.8 is the swing low for 2021 in the summer. That was the lowest point. It was our pivot before reaching a new all-time high at the end of 2021, and then of course falling down to 15.5. This is a pretty critical pivot point. I don't expect really a ton of resistance here personally. I don't. I think we overshoot to at least 30, but we're just looking at a monthly here. Money flow, Market Cipher B, one of our other sponsors, gave us a tip off here. Early this month before this rally, money flow began trending back up on the monthly time frame, which really has never happened according to Coinbase. That was spicy. VWAP's coming up, so is momentum, and led to this rather spicy candle. VWAP on the month just reaching 50, and that's suggesting there's quite a lot of fuel left potentially in this tank. Even if we were to just follow these highs down on this trend line, looks like around high 80s to kind of reach that lower high, if that is even in the cards. Things are looking pretty damn spicy today. Pretty damn spicy. This is quite a quarterly candle. I'm not sure it really matches Pajali's quarterly expectations. Friendly reminder, if that were to come true, the next quarterly candle would be the $1 million touch. I don't know about that. That's pretty spicy. I will say this. Do I personally think that Bitcoin's really going to $1 million in 90 days? No, of course I don't. I'm the most bullish person in the world, but that is just not in my realm of expectations. However, I think that there is a higher probability of Bitcoin going to $1 million than there is 0 in 90 days. So take that as you will. Let's fire up Lux Algo here for a second. It's not working yet. Okay. We're going to fire up Lux Algo as we tune into the week. Ooh, I like this. Lux Algo giving a weekly buy there, actually all the way back in January, but now we see the transition from kind of neutral or trend change to that solid green candle that closed yesterday. That's a spicy meatball. That's very good. Lux Algo on the week using live order block data, identifying the same targets as we are. We've had this target, I don't even remember how long now. 48K. 48K is the only bundle of orders when looking at this live order block data that it identifies all the way up here. And that is where that's pretty much where I'm looking for this, whether it be a dead cat bounce or a real rally. 48K has been my target. It's funny because 48K was my target back here in 21 when everyone was bearish. I said it's going to go at least to 48K. It did. Went all the way to 69. And as we fell, I said, it's going to go to 48K again. And it did. I got the short. Here, closed it down here. I lazily forgot to set it again. I should have. And weirdly, now back to 48K. All roads lead to Rome, they say. Maybe that's it. On the week, here's what we've been waiting for, boys and girls. The spice is upon us. The timing could not be better with weakness in a global monetary system. This is Bitcoin's time to shine. It was the literal reason Bitcoin was created. January 2009, Chancellor on the brink of second bank bailout. We bailed banks out last week, and it looks like we're making a global coordinated effort to prevent them from needing to be bailed out or bailing them out again. So, spicy AF, we've been watching this for months. Money flow on the week, finally rolling over. So, in my observation of these big time frames rolling over, I will say one thing. As this rolls over and we do see maybe next week, maybe after this week, we'll see that money flow from red, money leaving the market, reverse and begin entering the market again on a weekly time frame. Something I've noticed is when these big time frames roll over, so when it turns green, so probably next week, we usually see the market trade in the opposite direction for a little bit. I don't exactly know why. I would argue that as these time frames roll over, there is mass liquidity being exposed, and basically the market just sells or buys into that liquidity. Doesn't commonly end up being a reversal or a killer of the trend, but I would basically, just looking at this, keep my eyes peeled for maybe, I think it'll be next week when that happens, likely to see a red candle, and especially if this candle closes very green, that would not be out of the ordinary. Momentum baked out, continued higher. VWAP is up. The weekly is prime. We will acknowledge the bearish side of the coin here. Let's see, is there bearish divergence somewhere? Yeah. So with that 48K high, we had a lower high on RSI, and now RSI is trading higher despite a lower price, and that is definitely threatening bearish divergence 100% until 48K is taken out. That's pretty much it. That weekly close, man, could not have been better. 25.2, that is the 200 weekly moving average. It is also the change of character on the weekly time frame. We had a double top there, hitting a lower low at 19.5 2 weeks ago now, and then rallying higher. That is a setup for a complex pullback. That's not bad. A return to 25.2 would be a spicy pullback. Spicy. If we see rejection at 28.8, though I think that's unlikely, I'm aiming higher, maybe 30. 25.2, that's the likely area to find support. Turn these babies off. Let's take a peek at this. For the first time since April of 22, the weekly has touched the Ichimoku cloud. It is tickling the cloud. Typically, we do find resistance in the cloud. However, the cloud cover in between the highs and the lows, the red here and the green here in between the bold lines, they don't really tend to be strong resistance or support. You can see here, fell through it, didn't really respect it. Wouldn't be surprised to see that happen again. In fact, I will say very uncommonly does the cloud cover actually reverse major trends. That's what I'll say. Something that catches my eye and has caught my eye many a time. Whoa! TradingView added emojis? Screw the charts, man. Screw the charts. We got real emojis now in TradingView. I don't know, what a random thing to do. Do I still have my old ones? There we go. We still get our old ones. That's good. What catches my eye here, it caught it before. We've put this on the chart many a time. A big, fat, flat cloud, as we say. This is sitting at 43.3, and this is typically a magnet to price. I will also add over here, farther down the line, we do have another fat, flat cloud forming. That's at 32,000. It doesn't start until June-ish of 23. So if we do see a crazy rally into, I don't know, into Bajali's prediction, we would then be looking for that magnet to play out at 31. So maybe a move from 48 to 31 out of the cloud, holding support there, likely to take us to new highs, dropping back into the cloud, likely spelling for continued bear market gibberish. Gibberty-gook. All right. Let's throw this on here and move on. Little magnet. Little magnet. Going down to the day. Daily high above the clouds. Not too much looking there. We did get a strong buy on Lux Algo's daily down at 22.3. We have not gotten the close position signal yet. So Lux Algo not convinced that this rally is over. I'll take it. Take it. We have a weak high identified today. Where's my live order block data? Update Lux Algo. There we go. When we zoom in, we're going to get a more detailed view of liquidity. Liquidity being suggested 31.8. That's right around what we were saying. I was saying I don't think 28.8 is going to be it. I think we overshoot it even if it rejects. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that spicy? We placed those magnets. Took the Ichimoku cloud off. Zoomed in. Look at this. Look at where these magnets are in position to where these order blocks are. I don't know how Ichimoku cloud works in its magical ways. I know how it literally works in math, but it is just eerie. It is eerie sometimes. It's uncanny. Its ability to spot things. I love it. So this is great. I have some really good news on the day. We have been waiting for the day and the week now for a little bit. The daily gave us the rolling over sign in, we'll call it mid-February. And in the last few days, money flow has rolled over into red, into selling. We zoom in. We're back in the green, baby. I was talking about how when this happens, we usually see counter trading. So as the day moves into green again, we could see selling today that wouldn't be out of the normal as it has rolled back over. But something I love to see here, we got a little gumdrop, a little bullish gumdrop. The bears getting a turn, but that turn ending abruptly and without much progress. We do have a higher high on momentum. That's beautiful. Coming off a higher high on VWAP. It is rolling over, though, and that might suggest that selling that we were hypotheticizing. The daily's still struggling here with RSI as well, so that's true on the week and the day. We have the highest point in price relative to the last whatever candles, but it's not the highest point in RSI. That does point to potential bearish divergence until it is invalidated, or not, obviously. That invalidation comes with a higher high in RSI, meaning more upside. Probably a break above that 31 mark. I don't think 28.8 or 30 is going to be enough. We haven't peeked at all of our daily moving averages in a while. Let's just update where they are. Here we go. Beautiful. A nice little bullish kiss from the 20 and 50 dailies right at 23.3. This chart's beautiful. Support being held at the 200 and 100. Those are climbing up. Not a lot there. We're not really going to be able to get too much out of that. Bollinger Bands. We are pushing the top of the daily band now. That is a precarious situation. It's always dangerous to look to take a position at the top or the bottom of these bands with the trend, as they usually do move price back down to the 20 moving average. However, you can see when we do get big moves, it's almost as if the top of the Bollinger Band acts as a support until it breaks. Right here we see that. So simply buying or selling at the top or bottom of bands, I don't think is a very good strategy. I think it'll get you wrecked. Let's zoomer on in. We're going to zoom into the lower time frames to take a peek at what might happen during this live stream. So do me a favor, smash the likes and subscribes. Hype up the chat. Let me know you're here. Long or short, sir, we're not there yet. What's up, Crypto Billy? We're about to zoom in and get a bigger picture, better picture. But we need more likes and subscribes while we do that. This has got to be the strangest 12-hour I've ever seen. This is giving us the rollover signal. We have hit a low that's exceeded our previous lows. This is looking to be like a lower high. 12 hours going to look to move into positive territory. Momentum is very odd here. Right at, I think this is the trigger line. Flipping back and forth, a little bit of indecision on the 12-hour. I don't love that our VWAP highs are coming down, but they're also coming up on the lows, so at least that kind of cancels it out. The 12-hour I don't have an extremely bullish view of right now, but may resolve over the next, say, 36, 48 hours, something like that. Let's see. Wow, that's a beautiful low. Beautiful low. We've already broken what could have been potentially local support there. So I'm actually just going to place our local resistance. It looks like at yesterday's close. Let's see, RSI got anything for us? Chilling and overbought. That's what we want. We want to just see it chilling and overbought. Beautiful. Medium read on the 12. Let's go down to the 6. 6 hour also kind of weird. Not super normal here, but we don't have the signs of rolling over yet. I think what this is kind of implying, we see the 6 rolled over maybe 5 candles ago, the 12 hour giving us signs of weakness. The 6 hour is really attempting to pull a 12 hour up right now. No low yet. This is just odd. Just odd. You have a higher low and a higher high. You have no low yet. Even though money flows green, I'm just skeptical on the 6. Hopefully, like the 5 or the 4 will have something for us. I like this. The picture on the 5, much more bullish. Higher highs, higher lows. We're seeing a clearer uptrend on the 5 than we do on the 6 hour. And that's not too shabby. Not too shabby. Go down to the 4. 4 hour, very strong. Very strong. Coming off a higher high, or coming into a higher high off of lower highs on red money flow. It's interesting. I've noticed this now on many, many time frames. We're seeing the VWAP consolidate. Seeing the highs come down and the lows come up. Now, this doesn't really favor up or down, but it does give us an insight into contraction of volatility leading to large volatility breaks or big moves, let's say. If we're looking at the 4 hour, that big move's more biased to the upside right now. Let's hope that continues on the way in, down to the 2. 2 hour showing more weakness than some of its larger time frames here. Something I do like is these muted downsides. This was really characteristic over pretty much all of 2022. We would see the inverse. We would see bears in control and bulls basically not even allowed to take turns, just getting hammered back down, hammered back down. It's good to see this in the opposite direction. That's rather bully. I don't love that we've broken down from this low. That does give us a rolling over signal. Unless money flow can rocket back up, break the high, that can invalidate it. But at the moment, the 2 hour probably looking to roll over. And the 1 leading the way. There it is. 1 hour just rolled over, did it not? There it is. Is it not? Is it not? Right there. Just happened, it looks like, on this candle. RSI hanging out above 50, that's okay. Not a great take today. Not a great take. So this is a big change from what we've been seeing over the last few weeks or months. Basically, in the last few weeks or months, we had the potential for bullishness to come. We had some threat on the day. That seems to have been fixed. The weekly now in great position. But now our lower time frames not looking as hot. The lower time frames were much hotter the last few weeks. It seems like those have swapped. Game theory in my brain here, maybe we see a run up to that 31.8-ish or something like that in that area, 28.8 to 31. Then we see the retracement. This would follow in line very well with some of the projected courses we've seen and looked at in the last few weeks. Yeah. So far, we are just coming off higher lows, though. We did break a new high today. So as long as 27.2 is intact, not a lot going on, not a lot to worry about. I'm going to zoom into the really low time frames, though. I'm going to take it to the chat, see what you guys are looking at. Get a little interaction here. 15 minutes starting to trend up. I like that. Potential swing rejection to the downside. I don't love that. Throw that up. 15. And so just the same consolidation. Lows coming up, highs coming up. Or lows coming down, highs coming up, whatever. Getting tighter. Getting tighter and tighter. We're seeing very small moves in either direction on money flow, even down to the low time frames. Not the most bullish take, though. Let's see. That looks probable. That might have got stopped short, though. Let's leave it like that for now. Get down to the 5. 5-minute has immediate downside, but immediate downside though is giving us a rollover signal, so that would likely jank up this. I was thinking we were going to move here and then down. The 5-minute kind of looking in the reverse, maybe looking for a slightly higher low. Maybe something more along these lines. Down to test the lows. Then maybe you get that reverse. See if the one agrees. Not really. A lot of confliction, a lot of really just smashing together, tightening of bands. I think the Bollinger Bands really paint that picture well. We had big moves. We haven't had too much consolidation. This might be looking at some consolidation. The good news is our larger time frames during this consolidation are picking up, are improving, are looking stronger. And that does then suggest, maybe, no, it does suggest probability is looking at further upside. Not necessarily during this live stream today, though. Hey, I would welcome it. I would welcome it. But not really looking for it, to be honest. Let's see. We do have a little flat top here coming up. I think this is our target during the live stream, 28,290. That's probably where I'm looking. Let's... I think this could be played. I'm going to take the short one. So I like this. We're on the 1 minute. So this is really only like in the next hour or so we're looking at. 5 minutes shows it too. I do like this, that double top here. Don't fear double tops, man. I think they're totally misunderstood. Little double top here, but we do see our lows coming up pretty consistently, provided this 5 minute holds on. That double top, I likely think we see a retest, maybe a higher low, a move to 28,290. And then I think we do probably break these lows, sweep liquidity, hit that 618. Now, that whole thing, so that would be what? A 0.93 move to the upside, followed by a 1.7 move to the downside. Like, it's barely any movement. This is not going to impact the macro. This is not going to, like, I don't know, change the picture. But we do have some charts that might. So let me read the chat for a minute here. If you're here, if you just got here or not, put something in the chat as I open it up here and refresh it. I want to see what you guys are looking at. And then we're going to take a look at some very important charts outside of the corn. You've got the dollar, crude oil, and gold. Also, the spiciest of spicy, GBTC, potentially front-running Bitcoin again. We will find out. Good morning, friends. What's up, Don, George Mason? Gates are made of silver. Beautiful at sunrise. I don't think I've ever seen a gate made of silver at sunrise, but I'd like to. Matthew Barnes, my dude. Let's go, Corn King. I love it. Blockchain Bonehead. Did you just try to hit your drink like a vape? Dude, let me not get too off track here, but I have done worse than that. I have had a lighter in my hand, and I have gone to like hit my lighter before. Thank God I never actually breathed it in, but I have done that. I have like, my brain was like, yes, hit the lighter, and I almost did. I appreciate you though. Thank you for, I'm glad you noticed that. Good observation. Taylor S. Bitfinex Schlongs. Oh, you reminded me. I tweeted about this and you reminded me. I appreciate you. This is a huge chart. We looked at it last stream and I'll be damned if I messed up this chart. Did I mess this chart up? Sources. Did I mess this chart up? I'm going to be so sad because this chart I've had for such a long time. That's a big one I wanted to look at too. Maybe it's this one. There we go. There we go. We looked at this literally last stream. Oh, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. We looked at it literally last stream, and what I was looking at actually happened, and it does have to do with Bitfinex, so we will get into that. We will. What's up, Cole Crypto Zigzag? Adam Buzzard, what's up, Mang XLM? We're going to take a look at the top 10. We'll add in a few more. FBTC in gold, but watching more financial news. How you doing, Rico? Good morning, GM. Just playing crazy. Is it a good short? Says FUD Expert. If you followed the TA here that I just went over, there may be a short coming up. Sophisticated dirtbag. Yo, pickle, my man. Gold-silver ratio, sure. Price go up and down. Well done. Well done, Lucky Thoughts. Good to have you here, my friend. Jonah, AB, Lopez, Daniel, Rob, Rapture, Dibsy, Litecoin, Leo, my man. Not the one I thought I met in Miami, but a different one. Equally as nice. John Schaefer. Do you really guys really want me to rant about that? I'll rant about it all day. Bitcoin at $1 million, what that means. I'll rant about it. BTC still going the same ways as NASDAQ. I would definitely disagree. But each their own. Everyone's welcome to their opinion. What's up, Anna Philipwitz? Zigzag nice. Sell count signals on the day. Completes today. 4x negative div on the RSI. MACD and 3 div on the monthly. Chirp pow coming in with the spice. That is a big point today. No matter what we look at on the charts, Wednesday is really that's going to be the biggest FOMC meeting ever. And people say that every month, but this one is for real going to be the biggest. You'll rant along with me, Jonathan Schaefer. I appreciate that. Albion Jahari, XRP better than Bitcoin. Again, everyone's welcome to their opinion. I disagree. Craig Szymanski, you got coin options. We should definitely look at coin as well. That was making moves last week. Okay, got it pulled up. Trippy, Inso mining dead Fred. Dissect the dominance. Dissect it. Buy gear. Volume looks a lot lower though. On this move up, Bitcoin 4-hour scary rising wedge. Oh yeah. I mean, if we're in a bull run, you're going to see rising wedges. You're going to see head and shoulders. You're going to see the ugliest patterns paint in existence, and they just won't break down. TA sometimes gets carried away by the bull, but keep your eyes open. What up? I need my COD. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, boys. Roll up, crack your brews. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Daily order block around 24.5 is where I'm looking. Crypto Poppy Blaze it. Stick BR. Oh my. You're so zazzed out. Zah. Tom, lay off the weed, says Mike. 1, no, you're not my dad. 2, actually, I never smoke before I stream. If I did, I would just be incoherent. We do have a poll going. When will Bitcoin pull back? 35% of us say it's already begun. Fair take. 28.8 to 32. 38% of us. So that means that 73% of everyone in this chat thinks that we've already seen the local or macro high, or it's very, very close. I like that. I like the bearish kind of discounting, disbelief. I like that at this specific number. It looks like only 27% of us are looking for any really more bullishness in the short term, and that's excellent. We've been saying this even before the rally began, is once we start going back up, we need to keep sentiment negative. And it's interesting that people are looking at that, even though all weekend all we heard about was $1 million Bitcoin. Pretty spicy. Referring to the lighters of 8 moment, dude, I'm so glad I never actually breathed in that fire. I've definitely tried. Maybe we all wrong. We usually are all wrong. I'm not going to lie. Crypto Steve O, 29 comes after 28. I don't want to give away all my secrets. All right. What's up, C. Ron, J.R. Thani, Kaz of Kami? Is there a bigger macro ascending triangle? So, let's just really quick. Let's zoom out really quick, just to address this, address the perspective. Let's address the perspective. So there are many things going on right now, right? We have this huge descending wedge, massive. It did eventually break to the downside or break to the upside. Now people are looking at this and saying we have a wedge to the upside. I don't think that's crazy. I don't really know how they paint it, but I don't think that's crazy. There you go. Sure. But we're coming out of this much bigger wedge. Like, if it does play out, maybe it plays out like this, right? Tinier wedge, tinier downside. Bigger wedge, bigger upside. There's a lot of patterns at play. I don't know how much I really think that this is. I really don't think this is a wedge. This is what I'm still looking at. Let's see. This has been, of my opinion, the future. And so far, it's been not bad. It's been pretty good. This was created, I think, on the 15th. Back here, when I was on BitBoy's AM show. And this was my bullish take, and this is what I said I think was going to happen. So far, so good. It does imply a touch to 29.6, then the pullback to the top of the trend. The exact number of that is going to be very hard to grab. We could say 26.5, potentially even as low as 25.2 for that 200 weekly. I'd like to see a wick there, though. If that does happen, I don't want to see dailies closing below that wedge again. Where did my little graphic disappear? I had a little graphic here. But this is a bullish megaphone, as, I don't know, the internet says. Let me pull that up for you quick. There it is. Ta-da! Oh, wow, that is really low resolution. Yuck. Wow. You can barely even read that or even see it, but you get the point. Basic. Oh, that hurt like. Wow, I just smashed my toe. Ooh. Give me a minute. So hard. Oh, on the metal desk. My foot slipped off the chair. Okay. Smash the legs for me hurting myself. Ooh, okay. Wow. That is like a solid 7 out of 10 pain. Whoa. Okay. Okay. I wish I had like an ad to run, like a 30-second ad. Just like play it right now and go cry to myself quietly in the corner. Oh God. I hope I don't lose my toenail. That really got smashed. Okay. I don't really remember what I was saying. Pain just kind of reset my brain. So let's just go through the other charts while we wait for Bitcoin to do something. We've done the TA, we've done the higher time frame, we've done the lower time frame. We have our projection from the day, or for the day. You know, and that would also imply this. Range high. Take that out. Boom. There we go. Those are both like 3.5s to 1. Oh man, that is a painful. Is it bleeding? I don't think so. I hope not. I don't think so. It was just like a smash. It wasn't anything sharp, luckily. I'll get through it. Looking for a move to 28,290, then potentially down below 27.8 to sweep liquidity. Hopefully a bounce at 27.7. We'll find out as time goes on. Something I definitely want to look at is GBTC. We identified its weirdly bullishness back at the beginning of the month. GBTC now opening its daily candle, gapping through $14 to $16, the $16 range up into and above 16. We do have an open gap on GBTC. It's all the way up at 1850. And if we look at this bigger picture, this is the 200 weekly moving average for GBTC. That's up at 21.3. GBTC would make a 31% move to the upside just to touch its 200 weekly. Just to touch it, just to tickle it. This chart looks different. It's not really as similar as I would expect. Obviously it did and still is trading at a pretty significant discount. I have been, ever since we saw it break out and we saw Bitcoin move, I have been kind of shouting, I think this is foreshadowing a win versus the SEC for Grayscale. That might be hopium. But I think it's good, fresh hopium that I'm not hearing anywhere else. And the chart is saying that the chart's telling us, man, something's happening. Why would this discount be getting eaten away if there wasn't something coming? Why would people be investing in it instead of spot? I don't know. I do not know. It is still so much more bullish than Bitcoin spot. Look at this money flow on the day. It's just rocketing, man. We put this rocket here. Maybe we'll make it a little bigger. There you go, a little bit bigger. On the week, weirdly though, the week is less bullish in a sense. I like this momentum better and I like the VWAP better, but money flow not reaching that zero line, unlike spot, which just has. Ooh, man, that's disorienting. We want to pull up CME. We should probably look at oil and dollar and gold. So we'll do that. Dollar, thank goodness, breaking last week's low, trading to a new weekly low, 103.4. Coming off a lower high. This is not looking so healthy. I like it. Lower low on money flow on the day. VWAP down, momentum down. This is looking to dump. I like it. I like it when the dollar dumps. And I like it when it lines up. So this is pretty. We've broken the low. Using our Fibonacci extension tool, we look to our 1618 and our 2 measured move. Our 2 measured move is almost exactly, looks like at this previous support. That's a pretty good downside target. It's a deep retrace 786. I could see something like this playing out. Yes. Yes. Move down to 101.8. Come back to 103.4. And I think you likely reject. And that would follow the 1, 2, 3 lower highs, lower lows. That's good. That would spell some upside in green for markets across the board. Looking heavy here, dollar. Looking heavy. Even the weekly, this was looking very, very strong. It started to drain off. We have broken or exceeded our lows looking left. And it looks even as if we have a lower high here this weekly time frame for the dollar, maybe looking to roll over. And I think if that happens, we have to look a lot lower than 103. On a break of 108, using that same rationale of our measured moves. Oof, those are some bearish targets. 95, 96 is the measured move, and 97.82. On a break of 100, I'm looking here. Looking all the way down here. That would be a really muted high. I don't really want this to play out this way. That might sound weird. I don't want the dollar to do this. I don't want that. Although, you know what? If that happens, we could have actually a pretty interesting setup too. That might be the future. That looks pretty good. My issue here is if this is the high, it's not like the bull trap that I wanted it to be, or I've been imagining. We've been imagining a move back to 109 to complete a perfect golden pocket retrace. Oh. Golden pocket retrace. Dude, how many streamers get like injured while they stream? Nobody. That's just some of the sauce we bring you here. Typically, it's typically very hard to get hurt while streaming. You're not doing a lot of moving. But you know what? We make the impossible possible here. I really would like to see this bull trap, lower high, and sell off. That would complete the blow off top for me, and I would say the dollar's cooked. If this is the retracement and it comes down, that's not really the way I would imagine it, to be honest. If that does happen, maybe that high is muted, only to like 107. But this would, honestly, if this happens, I would be a little more bullish on the dollar than I am currently very bearish. I'd be a little more bullish because it would look more like a capitulation bottom. And while I don't think it will even trade above 115, I think that it would then move higher and stay higher longer, which is not really what I want. I'm not going to save any of that. Close without saving. Gold made some freaky moves, man. Freaky moves. We were only looking for a modest golden retracement to 1900, and gold overshot, trading into 2000, finding sellers, pushing price back down below 2000. Get rid of some of these lines. Potentially 1950, if it even moves there. 1950 would not be a bad spot to pull back, find support to move higher. I am now of the opinion that gold, and I said this earlier in the year, gold is looking to set a new all-time high. Now, it is absolutely possible it doesn't. It's absolutely possible it doesn't. But I think it will, at minimum, test this this high trend line from its previous highs at like 2060, 2070, something like that. Our 1618, 2062. Like, I just don't know how gold doesn't eventually move to the upside. Like, inflation is hot. Gold has not moved ever. Still worth the exact same amount with a tiny, tiny premium as 2011. Like, it's weird for it not to move up. Everything seemingly has outpaced gold in valuation. Like, literally everything except for the dollar, obviously. Obviously, because dollar, only like, Venezuelans, bolivars, it's the only thing it's outpaced. All right. Gold looking to make a swing. We were looking for it to roll over. It looks like it's catching here. However, it has a long way to go on the day to really invalidate that. We could still see that lower high rolling over, but that lower high could still take us to that 2060 mark before seeing a retracement. That's actually pretty slick. I got some alerts for crude, actually, before I move on. Set the alerts for gold. I got an alert for crude last night, and I have not seen any crude alert, I want to say, since 2020. Yeah, it's 2020. Look at this chart. Just fun fact. This is not loading. But fun fact, we literally on this stream, you can go back, it was in 2020, before April, had a $10 target for crude, and it hit in April of 2020 when it went, obviously, into the negatives on some other tickers. That's throbbing. I'm going to need to get ice. Ooh. That was a wild call. I can't believe it actually happened. So, in the last week, it looks like last week, crude closed at 66, just slightly above November 21st high. Very high. Speaking of high, have we gotten 420 likes yet? Yes, we have. Well done. Well done. Man, I'm in pain. I'm going to stick this out as long as I can. 618 retracement for crude is at 54. Not a bad spot to look, though we do likely have some strong support here at 63, 58. It has been tested once, twice, and it's looking almost, well, it is looking now to make a full retracement. That's not great. That's not a great look. This is kind of what I see. I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of rally, but this is kind of looking like crude is getting bearish. Getting bearish. I'm having trouble concentrating. Corn hasn't moved. Cool. Good. Let's see a coin quick. Coin continuing its rally. Pulling back today. Still targeting new highs, I think, certainly by the end of the year, for at least 84. Not a lot of comments there. While we chill and we just rolled over a week, I'll pull up. Let's take a quick peek at the top 10, starting with Ethereum. Ethereum not looking so hot here against BTC. Now, it's not totally toast in structure, but it does seem to be struggling. Definitely seems to be struggling. Coming off some pretty nasty weekly bearish divergence. Money flow is janky at best, but still leading to the downside. So that's not saying Ethereum can't make gains against USD, but it is showing without some kind of crazy reversal that Ethereum is not keeping pace with Bitcoin at the moment. But that is true of everything. I don't think there is a single coin I can name that is at the moment. Oh, wow, we just disconnected. Oh, well. Keep going. Ethereum battling with that 1776 resistance. It looks like it closed above on the week, so that's solid. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to get rid of a lot of this. Even though these were some good trades and some bad trades, there's just too much on this chart. There we go. Make this scanner. There we go. There we go. 1677. Boom. This was our resistance for, I don't know, like a week plus. Broke through it. Now, we did close above 1772, so that may hold. But if we see that retracement on BTC that everyone's kind of pricing in or thinking about, 1677, maybe not a bad spot for a position. I'm not going to sink too much time into how I might do that, but I think there's a play with a tight stop, basically just back to 1777, and I'm still looking for 2130. Ooh. Ethereum following Bitcoin on the weekly, that's not bad. Not bad. Gumdrop, I like it. 1677, 2134. That's your support and resistance, your most local and closest. Those are going to be good targets for positions. Let's take a peek at BNB. BNB holding on by a prayer. Holding on by a prayer here. Didn't have a strong... Oh, this is monthly. Nice. Strong weekly close, potentially above the pattern we've been dreading or hoping won't happen. Flat bottom. However you want to draw it. Let's actually put a real trend line there. Does look like it's closed above on the week. Holding this level is going to be great. I think what I can do here is probably look for a long, maybe at the bottom of today's candle. Just using a stop below 324. By the way, guys, please don't just blindly copy my trades. You will lose money. These are for educational purposes. I like that you have some pretty interesting upside here. I don't know if 514 is where I would aim. Likely 450 on a big rally. Then we have to move our stop up. Yeah, you got to go for the tight stop. I'm just going to go for a 3-to-1. There we go. I can see something played like this. It wouldn't really be my style of trade, but it did close above its trend. So without immediately selling off and dropping back below, I think it is primed to see a move to the next resistance. Next upside resistance, maybe even just 400 being October's wick high. 450. This is a really clean chart in the sense of it seems like everything's really spread out nicely. I think the play is to 400. So we'll move that down. I'm not going to take this trade, but I think that someone, not me, can make it happen. I like your lows coming up. I like the flat top at 324. That's probably the better entry, is like down at 324. There it is. BNB pretty in line with everything else on the week. And the day, very similar to the rest of the market. Cool. We'll look at XRPs and then ADA, although I don't think I have any update on ADA because I haven't gotten any alerts on it. Is it above 31.1 cents and below 41.2 cents? Then yes, it is right where it was. XRP has not moved, man. This is reminding me of Ethereum in that big symmetrical wedge. Like, this is just chilling. Good news though is Ethereum eventually did break that to the upside, so that's cool. This is just not moving. The longer we look at this, the more kind of levels it's establishing, which is by itself a good thing, I would say. Like that. There's just nothing there. It's just ranged trading, waiting for the Corn King to let everybody know what's happening next. What is this? I need to make a new XRP chart. This has been too long. There's just not a lot there, man. It's trading in like the tightest range. 12, like 10% range. It does appear though that XRP would be a pretty fancy like grid trade. I would say with a low of 33.9 and a high of 41.7. I think that could make a pretty sweet grid trade bot. ADA, right where we left it. Our short was good, our long entry was good, and now we're just waiting for it to go back to 41.6. There's no change. This is why I haven't been looking at alts quite as much lately, is they're really unlikely to have much to show us. Like, the corn is taking back control, and everything's really just going to move with the corn. We're, at least for the short term, we are very unlikely to see things of significant market caps busting out, or even busting down, bust in any direction. Sideways trading is what I expect for almost all the large caps at the moment. Let's peek Matic. That brings us to like almost all of the top. Matic with a nice back test of that monthly consolidation resistance high. Didn't quite touch 92.9 cents. But it does look like buyers have bought it up. Looking for a close. Oh my goodness. I just need to make all new charts. Looking for a close, hopefully, above 119 this month to flip. That would be hella bullish, actually, to flip into a really nice green kicker candle. Definitely don't want to see it close below 111. That'd be a pretty bearish signal. Momentum continues to wane off on the sell side, month after month after month. It's true of a lot of charts right now. I did place this potential long. It did not hit the take profit. It did get stopped out. Wrecked. Riggedy wrecked. It's still marching up, though. I think we see it move back down a little bit. I think you'd get another shot at $1. I think you'll get another shot at $1 on Matic. Bitcoin has not moved in typical fashion. Every time we're live, it doesn't move. What's up, K's of Kami? Thoughts on SEC spread too thin on attacking cryptos? At the moment, they haven't gone after much. So at the moment, I don't think they're spread out. If they do attempt to tackle the whole space, yeah, there's like no way. They'll be spread way too thin. Hella too thin. Here's the thoughts. Is the SEC, if they go after things, the crypto was designed to be resilient to this. And what we're going to see is they're going to be able to go after centralized projects. And they're not going to be able to go after decentralized projects. That's not the best take in the sense of, you know, there's a lot of centralized projects. Maybe 99% of them in crypto are centralized. So that's not great for our wallets. Really little we can do about it. The sad fact is many things were sold as unregistered securities. We just didn't have the precedent. We didn't have any experience with any of this when they were sold as ICOs. I don't really fault them. I don't really fault them for doing it. I don't think it was like bad actor, most of it, but they're going to go after what they can. I think that's obvious. Yeah, here's our chart from the other day. And we took that 100x short on live stream. Not doing that right now. Marching up right into that overhead resistance. My computer's lagging as shit. I did want to look at Bitfinex longs and shorts. Bitfinex longs and shorts right now are very interesting. We looked at these last stream, but the shorts is really the interesting part. Yesterday, I tweeted about it. If you don't follow me on Twitter, you should, at tomcrown crypto. Hit an all-time low. Now, the thing I don't like about this is typically Bitfinex shorts being at all-time lows has been the top of markets. We can look here at November 21 was the previous low. Before that, well, this one isn't quite the same. May of 21, that was, as it fell, it wasn't really at the bottom or the top. That's uncomfortable. But this is not really what I want to see. I will admit, Bitfinex, not really the player that it was a few years ago when it was really the only margin platform. Now there's many options, many other derivative sites, especially the ones that sponsor us. Sign up with Fairdesk and Bybit, links in the video description below. Help support the stream for free. You'll get some bonuses just for using the links. And that's what keeps the lights on. But this is not a great signal. I would like to see these very high it is odd to me that they're so low. They did just tickle yesterday a new all-time low, and we do see some shorts opening, so maybe we'll see, in the same sense we look at liquidity sweeps touching just lower or just higher than previous lows and then reversing. Maybe that's what we'll see. I don't know. I must set another alert. I don't want to see these go lower. Wow, this is the least eventful price action stream. I did say I didn't see a lot going on right now, though. Fruity Pebbles. What's up, UFO Nuts? What's up, UFO Nuts? Nut with the Fruity Pebbles. You personally think XRP will have a run when they win versus the SEC? I mean, that's logical. If they win versus the SEC, yeah, speculation and hype will definitely drive the price up. How far? I don't know. Before the SEC case, Ripple was trading at what? If they don't lose the case, probably back to that price. I don't know. I would be weary of anyone telling you moon based on that. Unless the whole freaking crypto market is mooning at the time, then it'll go nuts. What's up, Zach Leroy? Adriani. Happy New Year from Iran. I guess it's Iranian New Year. Cheers. Noah S. How you doing, man? Wick. Big triangle. STG Stargate. I don't know what that is, Barry the Rave, but I like Raven. Ivan R. We all want XRP to win versus SEC. But it's only the XRP army that's there? I don't understand. I certainly don't want to see crypto losing cases. I don't think that it is. I've seen a lot of other influencers say how critical it is for the crypto. I guess they're not, they're really just like not maximalists like me. No matter what happens with that case, decentralized projects, you just can't touch them. That's pretty much their whole thing, their whole gig. XRP macro outlook. Trending with the market. Something that does make me nervous about XRP. I still own XRP. I still have, I don't know, a few thousand of them or whatever. We saw a lot of 2000 coins that ran in the previous bull market, 2017 market, hit their previous highs. XRP didn't do that. I would be weary of that, what, $3.17 high. We've seen it happen on other coins. It's entirely possible that when we are in a real bull market or rally or whatever, that it hits that and reverses. Nobody knows. Honestly, nobody knows. XRP is not my favorite coin. I don't judge people for loving it, for loving the XRP army. Go for it. Go for it. Just not my jam. Now look at Shib, please. Every single day, Adriani, you want me to look at something just for you. Every day. Never say I don't do things for you. Shib is still in a tough spot. Yikes. It did stop out our long. That was a knife catch. Didn't trade significantly below 001. Like, you guys want to see all these different charts, but I'm telling you, none of them are going to give us insight. They're all just trending with the market. Like, they're all trending with the market. If you like are waiting for explosive upside on these alts, you might have to wait. You might be waiting a while. Typically, in this scenario, in the past, what we've seen is Bitcoin moves up to whatever level. I mean, we can call it 31, we can call it 28 here. Then when it trades sideways, alts tend to catch up. They tend to kind of close some of the distance. But we haven't been seeing that yet. In fact, Bitcoin dominance has been on a complete ripper. Has it hit a higher high every day? It has hit a higher high every day since the 10th. And it's still ripping. Honestly, just be careful. We are coming up to the previous high on BTCD from June of 22. We break through that, we're liable to make a really deep retracement up, and that's going to spell lots and lots of pain for alts. Lots and lots of pain. However, for the moment, I know that we're all kind of getting ahead of ourselves here. I've heard Benjamin Cohen and some other people that I respect say some logical things about dominance here that I agree with, but at the moment we're still trading basically in a sideways channel. We don't have like a breakout yet. If we do, I'm going to be looking up here, 56 to 60%. This is the market inefficiency from which it fell. And it is also the 618 retrace. I have been waiting for it to return, honestly, for almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. I'm baffled by dominance. I don't know what's going on. It's weird. But we're still in that range. My approach would be this. On a touch of that previous high, I could look to scale into an alt, meaning like a small purchase. I would do the same here and here. If all three of these hit, it is very likely you are sniping bottoms. Very likely you're sniping bottoms. There's always the possibility that it flies off to a new high and goes berserk and whatever, sure. But I think in the realm of like logic, this is a solid place. Right at the top of this trend is the highest probability of it reversing. And if it breaks through, we're definitely looking for these deeper retracements, and these are going to spell very deep discounts for alts. In fact, if you were here in like 2019 and 2020 in the Patreon, we literally traded BTCD, like literally traded it and just killed it. Like anytime it would go high, anytime it would break high, we would look to take positions in alts. And then when it dropped, we would look to sell them. And it really, really worked until right about here. When it came down here, did nothing for a few months and then just dropped and never moved again. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to repeat. We only have one cycle worth of data at all to even mess with on dominance. But at the moment, it is still in that parallel channel. On a break, that's when I'd look to take positions. I really wouldn't go knife catching right now. If we are in a 2019 repeat, what we're likely to see is just alts get slaughtered and slaughtered and slaughtered, and then Bitcoin roll back over down into the lows and alts get slaughtered again. It's a brutal time. In fact, I believe it's logical to say that the rally in BTC USD is largely from alts selling into BTC, especially with banks closing on ramps and off ramps. The logical entrance of that value is from the BTC pairs. My toe is just finally not hurting now. Getting a little more clear-minded. Make sure you've jumped into the Discord if you haven't yet. It's the best way to keep up with our live streams. And you'll get free BTC just by jumping in. We have not had... Man, I missed a bunch of subscribers, but dude, we have not had many today. Call sign Timber, Pan Zeus, James, Felix Mart, Krishina, Lawford, Jeff Ginsborough, Mohan Sarkar. Those are the only new ones. We had like 5 more before that. If you haven't subscribed, you should. Enable notifications, join the Discord, etc. Sign up using the links in the video description below. Not much going on, is there? It's okay. We've had a lot of spice. I will say it is a little unusual not to see kind of movements today, as the markets were really looking for some spice. U.S. stocks mixed ahead of Fed interest decision. I don't really see any breaking news. Has anyone seen any breaking news? Is there any new bank talk? I see Xi arrives in Russia for talks with Putin. Cool. Great. Amazon cuts jobs. Cool. Great. Don't care. Lagarde backs ECB monetary policy amid high inflation. Great. We already looked at that. Possible legal action by some Credit Suisse bondholders is discussed. Uncertainty reigns as Fed considers interest rate hike. Is there anything spicy going on? I thought there was going to be hella news this morning. Hella news. Savada, you flip around all the crypto channels, you always end up back here. Well, we're always here for you. We leave the lights on. Appreciate you. We will almost certainly be live tomorrow, and we guaranteed will be live Wednesday for Chirpow. Chirpow. Wednesday. Your #1 Chirpow source. Coming at you hot. Thought we were going to hit 30K today? I mean, we're 28.5, 28.6. We still could. It's still possible. Still absolutely possible. I don't know if I'm like necessarily betting on it. Doesn't really have to happen today by any means. Didn't have to. Coming on down to that long. Boom, boom, boom. We might actually get it filled. It's probably just gonna smash through though. Hammer smash, meteor smash. You know, guys, if I wasn't an honest guy, I would just set up all my trades like this on the live. And 99% of people who viewed wouldn't ever be able to understand the difference. They'd be like, that looks fine. But I almost always put a 3-to-1 risk to reward. So people can smash on me for, you know, like losing trades. Guys, I lose trades all the time because I'm a real human. I'm a real trader. We all lose trades. I just don't hide them and pretend I'm perfect. But I could just set them as 1-to-1 risk to rewards, and then I would win more than 50% of them. But if they're at a 3-to-1 risk to reward, I literally only have to hit 1 and 3. And I think definitely we hit more than 1 and 3. So I could just do this, but I'll never do that to you guys. We want real trades. That little pitch. Right. It did get stopped out. Let's move it down a little bit, because technically it was longer. Nah. Let's be honest. We're just talking about honesty. Right to the snipey wipies. That wick. Right to... That's crazy. Do whales watch this? Are you watching out there, whales? Look at this. $1. $1 off. Wow. That's why I say never copy my trades blindly. It's a great way to lose money. Let's see if anything's changed here. I meant still looking heavy. Meh, I think it bounces. Not very spicy. We said we're looking for a liquidity sweep at that low. We got it. We got it. New hour just opened. So, wow, that whole hour remained above basically 27.8, 27.9. And then in the last, what, 20 seconds, dropped down and closed below. How savage. How savage. LOL, hurt toe. If you were here, I smashed my toe, like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes ago. Like, real hard while we were live. I've recovered. Little cut. There's a little cut there, but it's not too bad. Whales probably do watch Crypto Face. Oh, whales definitely watch this stream too, man. We've been streaming here for 4 years. BTC Bull Rally started, says Chic. I like it. I like it. Chirp, ow, Tom's toe. Ha, that's funny. Chirp, ow, my toe. Ow. Chirp, ow. Chirp, ouch. Guys, make sure you've joined the Discord. Check out the links in the video description below. I think we're done for today. We will be live almost certainly tomorrow, but 1,000% for Chirp, ow on Wednesday. You'll be redirected there after the live stream. Make sure you click the notify me button. Set your calendars. Get hype. It's going to be a great time. I will see you guys soon. Crown out.